Hi everyone, welcome to the Monday reading. This is going to be a reading for the new moon in Libra happening on the 6th of October. It's now the 4th of October. I have the chart up for you to see where this new moon is at 13 degrees. And I'm going to be using the tarot basically to focus in on specific transits and energy. Thanks so much for joining me. The lighting for my video is just really bad, but I'm not going to focus too much on that. So the first thing that I'm going to do is pull up some cards for this new moon in Libra. And this is getting to be kind of a weekly thing. I didn't plan to have videos out every Monday, but that's how it's turning out. So it's a good thing. Monday readings. Monday where I am. Sunday, maybe where you are. So we have the new moon in Libra with Mars at 13 degrees, almost 14 degrees, and the moon and the sun at 13:25. First card that we have is the Four of Pentacles. So this is an energy of reluctance to expand, usually within the physical world. So sometimes, as an example, it can mean that you don't want to spend too much money or don't want to invest in anything because you don't have the money, you don't have the resources. It's like holding tightly onto what you feel that you don't have enough of, which just creates more of that scarcity energy. So this card in this deck is about the need for expansion on that level. There's really a focus on letting something kind of finish, end, and then honing energy and creating a balance in life. So I think that because we have a new moon, a full moon in Aries coming up, and I've already started to kind of have thoughts about that full moon, that it's particularly significant. And with the sun here, this is about the way that we express ourselves, the way that we basically enjoy our unique personality. And if that is kind of stifled, or you are not giving yourself, because we have this next to the Four of Pentacles energy, which is like holding back. Why hold back? So I have moon in Scorpio, and as I've said before, a lot of things in 12th house. My sun, my Mars, and a lot of asteroids and things. And sometimes I find information, or I get to the truth of something in a way that is not even conscious to me. So I ask deep, penetrating questions, sometimes a little bit too intense for some people. But my question is, why hold back? Why hold back on expanding something about your personal self? This may be to do with a change that you want to make in your appearance. It may be a change that you want to make in your life that affects the way that you express your dynamic self. That's not the word, because I don't use the word that wants to come to my mind. Dynamism, if that's even a word. But why hold back on this energy? There's something here within the collective that is mourning some kind of change or loss. And there is like an energy of having to do something again or start from the beginning. I also see the energy of harnessing the sun and the moon, Mars, and also Mercury to create some kind of balance. So we have and what I don't like about this new moon is it's on Algorab. And Algorab is a fixed star. Which I happen to have somewhere in my chart that I don't like. So you can see there's the sun that is highlighted. It's conjunct with obviously the moon and Mars, but they're all conjunct this fixed star called Algorab. And this is an influence of Mars Saturn type energy, and it gives destructiveness, malevolence, fiendishness, which definitely ties in with this card, fiendishness, repulsiveness and lying, and is connected with scavenging. So this is not one of my favorite stars, obviously, and I have had to deal with a lot of that kind of energy because of where it is in my chart in relation to other people. And it's not something that is very nice to deal with. And there's the positive thing about this star is that it's a powerful kind of energy. So if you do have it in a very prominent place in your chart, that particular area of your life will be very intense and very powerful. But it's also going to be filled with things that could be very volatile, very destructive, kind of a negative kind of energy as well. So it is how you harness that. And it says, this is written by the ancients, but basically it's the power of summoning or driving away evil spirits and protection from winds and the malice of men and devils. So I have been working with this energy of the fixed stars and looking into how powerful they are, and that we aren't basically submissive to whatever energy is in your chart. So it's like you have tools and energy to work with. That's what the Chariot is all about. It's about harnessing the energy. And so there has to be a balance with this energy of the power to drive away negativity, and also the positive kind of thing is that it is in a trine with Saturn in Aquarius. So there you can see the trine of energy, and that is something that potentially could be helpful to work with Saturn energy, Saturn in Aquarius. So I'm going to keep going with the cards. I just turned off the video altogether. So we also have the Ace of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and the Six of Wands in this reading. And this is a really good, positive kind of opportunity to form something that is going to be good, the opposite of what Algorab sort of puts out there or represents. It's a difficult and negative energy to work with, and it's just that's just what it is. This fixed star energy with something new moon, like I said, conception. I'm just going to say that I think that in the police world, the security world, everything that is about regulating things to do with the public, it's going to be really a great opportunity for them, and really easy to basically make things even more difficult. So you might be in a position somewhere in the world doing something, and things start to change, and you are faced with the choice, Libra, in your work life, with other people and colleagues and whatever, Saturn in Aquarius, where there's these restrictions or enforcements in your little world, which is basically forcing you, Pluto, Mercury, Pluto is in a square with Mercury, which is conjunct all this energy that we have to balance out. Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, it all has to be in a way that is true to ourselves. If you don't want to stay in a situation, this is an opportunity to create an empowering move, Mars, and not get into some sort of negative mindset about it. And being bold. Mars does bold things. So you can imagine with Mars and Mercury and the Sun and the Moon, something new happening within the world of security, enforcement, which will be very easy to do, because there would be a backstory to it. There would be a background kind of situation or scenario where Saturn and everything that it rules at this time is getting some kind of green light energy. And so that could be negative or positive, depending on where you are in your stream of consciousness that we call life. Where are you? Do you want to hold back on this sun energy, the conception of doing something new? Or do you want to get into the negative sort of story and circumstances? Because we all have things that we have to do that we're not liking at the moment. I have to get a COVID test every fucking day, every day, which will end soon. But so me and my work colleagues, we're under some kind of, strong enforcement. It's very easy for them to do it. They have the resources and they just make it happen. And so there's a level of compliance going on here with people with this Saturn energy. But this, I feel that there is going to be a challenging, some changes that will come up in people's lives where it will challenge them. It will really, really challenge them. And this may have already been happening, but particularly at this time, something new being created in people's lives, a new kind of energy, and it could either be really fucking negative, really bad. Just look into Algorab. It's about lying, it's about destructiveness, and we can't ignore that it is at 13 degrees of Libra with Mars, Sun, and Moon. If you imagine it like visually with the Mars energy, like something that is like a big masculine symbol, and the word conception, and put those things together. So the thing to think about with this new moon and to pay attention to, and by the way, just on a tangent, I wanted to put the idea out there to people who are kind of exploring astrology and tarot and divination, is that one of the ways that I have personally been working with it for years is to pay attention to what is going on in my life relative to my birth chart. Paying attention to where the planets are and the transits that go on in your personal chart is really going to give you amazing amounts of insight. And I remember when I first started doing this, without any astrological lessons or anything, but I did over the years look up different technical stuff and what it means. But because I was at sort of a crisis kind of point in my life where I needed to know why my relationships were so difficult, I found that reason in my chart, and why and how I was working with the energy in a way that wasn't even benefiting me. So understanding how to work with energy really does change your entire existence and how you see things. You also will start to see how someone's energy and their life is impacting yours, and you don't have to have that person's birth details. You can actually see it if you look for it in your own chart. And the things that the person is basically waking you up to in a way. Okay, so Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Six of Wands, an opportunity to flow, Queen of Cups, with something and really kind of grab a hold of it for a positive reason. This can also be on the same opposite end of the spectrum, where someone can grab a hold of an opportunity, literally, like some kind of person walking or down the street, they can be literally grabbed by someone for a negative reason, for that person who's doing the grabbing to feel and to experience a sense of power and control. So if you see what I'm saying with working with this energy and get out of the right, wrong kind of mindset, where people might be focusing on things that are really not, they're not right, it kind of takes away from you having the opportunity to work with this energy in a very conscious way. Because let's take the example of a police officer grabbing someone on the street. Obviously, he or she is in a role where they are enforcing somebody else in their own kind of conscious structure of what they're meant to do with their rules and their guidelines and their training and whatever. And they go through with that process of maintaining control over another human being. What is also happening is that their actions and the way that they are enforcing that control, regardless of the rules and the guidelines and the training, they go into a subconscious process. They will abuse the boundaries. And so the trine here, this is definitely possible for somebody to abuse the boundaries of what is in the guidelines and the rules and the agenda. They can sort of manipulate that because it is the Queen of Cups energy. The opportunity is coming from, obviously, the desire for the Six of Wands, victory, achievement, and a sense of, like I said in the last reading, acknowledgement. So it's easy for things to become entangled as well with that energy. That's kind of manipulation. So there's potential for manipulation, basically, is what I'm saying. And also potential for the individual on a higher conscious level to manipulate energy with the energy of Algorab. There's a potential to harness power in the situation by either abusing something or eliminating toxicity and negativity out of something. So we will see this on both sides, where something will become more difficult, it'll be more toxic. I'm just going to do a quick weekly forecast with the tarot for the week, and we've got the Ten of Cups, the Three of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Six of Swords. So the Ten of Cups, happiness, fulfillment, emotional fulfillment. What makes you feel that way? What gives you that feeling of the Ten of Cups? Because there's more of it coming in. Three of Wands, there's more of it on the horizon, and it's ready for you to pull in with your energy. And you can work with this within the Hierophant kind of world. So you may be in a place of learning. Hierophant, Six of Swords, that's like university. And going through Mercury retrograde, we've got our mind going back into the libraries of our life. And the same could be said about going back in time, reading things that are significant, that were documented for a reason. So there's lots of that energy available to learn something, discover things, particularly through looking back on situations or looking back at a library of some kind, where, and it's funny because I just created a Patreon page a few days ago for the purpose of putting some of the library of my old videos that you can no longer see here on YouTube onto Patreon, and it's free. You can look at that without signing up for a donation, but I'm not going to say no to that either. So if you want to do that, that's great. But they're all available to basically see. And so we find things like, as our curiosity takes us somewhere in the flow of this kind of energy that is trine new moon to Saturn in Aquarius, this is history of the people. So you could be looking at historical things, things coming up where it's like it takes you back to a time where something was happening, or even further than that. So there's a potential to have a very successful new beginning in an area where there are dangers of destructiveness. There are dangers of the truth not being fully seen or discovered until later. But there's also intense potential of gaining power in a situation in your personal life where you have the ability to eliminate completely the negativity. So that could be in a lot of different relationships or workplace, whatever it is. It involves people. So that's the weekly kind of message, is that get into the 10 of Cups energy, which you can easily do by entertaining yourself with things that are emotionally fulfilling. And it creates a momentum. And then there's the 3 of Wands energy in your life, and you can recognize that by things start to happen that you go, oh, that's I was waiting for that. I'm so glad that it's here. Or I love the progress that I can see at the moment. Things like that, thoughts like that, you'll start to notice with the 3 of Wands. And then higher learning, the Hierophant is literally like written down as a definition in most tarot books as higher learning, or but what I've found is that it includes institutions of all kinds. With the 6 of Swords, there's a lot of positive discovery and getting to know something, a system of some kind, or a person through their historical teachings or documents. If this is about money for you, I think that you'll be developing some kind of budget or a plan to accomplish something. And there's a lot of possibilities with that, but it's really positive if you are consciously in a 10 of Cups kind of energy most of the time. So I'm going to leave it here because I have to go to a meeting for my own learning, Hierophant, 6 of Swords. I will leave it there for you. Thank you for being here, sending my love, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.